You ever notice when you're unemployed or you're in between jobs, people love to say, "Oh, just go get a temp job." Is that all? It's really that easy? Just go get a temp job. Like, that'll be the perfect solution to everything. Like, it's easy, right? Like, you just walk into some nice office, everybody welcomes you in, shows you around, learns your name, treats you with respect, and everybody lives happily ever after in workland, right? Wrong. Today, I'd like to dedicate this episode to every temp worker who showed up, did the job, and still got treated like they were disposable. Because temping ain't easy. Hey everybody, I'm Miss Fireball, HR's worst nightmare. And this is Fired But Still Lit, our workplace forum where sometimes we got a little extra something in our cup besides the tea or the coffee. Hey, don't judge us. And now, before anybody gets offended, I've been on both sides. I've been the temp, and I've been the permanent employee watching how companies treat temps. So trust me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. People think temp workers are just filling in. No, we're walking into complete strangers, complete office cultures, complete personalities, and we're trying to figure everything out before somebody decides, we don't fit in. Because one wrong comment, one personality conflict, one supervisor who doesn't like your tone, or one staff member you accidentally rub the wrong way, what happens? Your agency gets a phone call, and then you get a phone call. And what do they tell you? Your assignment has ended. Just like that. No warning. There's no conversation. There's no second chance. Temp today, gone tomorrow. Literally. And here's something nobody talks about. See, when you're a temp, you almost got to put yourself on another persona, right? You're measuring your words. You're watching every reaction. You're trying not to offend anybody. You're trying to fit into an office that already has the little cliques here and the little cliques there. They have their own politics. They have their own drama. Because, again, one complaint, that could cost you your assignment. And here's the part about the temp assignment going into it that you didn't know most of the time, right? If you never temped before, you don't know you don't get paid holidays. You don't get paid sick days. There's no paid PTO. I mean, unless you're lucky enough that you may be working with a staffing agency and you do have a history with them and you have PTO banked and sick days banked and vacation time banked. But other than that, you wake up sick, you don't work, you don't get paid. And then at Christmas time, when you're at a company, all the staff is getting all giddy about their Christmas bonuses. Everybody's getting a holiday pay, but you're not. You're sitting at home doing math, paycheck to paycheck, trying to figure out how you're going to make it work. I mean, you show up at these temp jobs thinking you're going to do one assignment, and they start throwing assignments at you. You came in for one job, and now you're doing three. Now, I've worked as a temp twice in my lifetime. And this has happened during my recent stint of my so called unemployed life. My first temp assignment, my first time ever working as a temp, I lasted exactly 7 days. Did you hear me? 7 days. There was a lady there, let's call her Justine. I interacted with her possibly out of those 7 days I was there, 3 days. Those 3 days that I interacted with her, she asked me how was I doing? Was I picking up the work? Did I like it there? Was I catching things was I catching on to the work and how they do things? I said, yes, I like it here. I'm picking up the work. I can manage this. She even went and asked the two of the young ladies in the department that I was working with, how was I doing? They told me, oh, they told her that I was catching on fast. I was a good, they liked working with me. That was a nice person. That we were all getting along great. Okay, day 7, I'm sitting at my desk. I get a phone call from the agency. Today's your last day. What? It's day 7. What do you mean? No explanation was given to me other than today's your last day. I've been here 7 days. And this chick, Justine, was there. She called the temp agency at some point and said, let's make this her last day. And then this heifer had the audacity to tell me, have a nice weekend. Well, as she told the other ladies collectively, the 3 of us, have a nice weekend when you just ended my assignment. After looking at me in my face and asking me on this very day again, how do I like it here? Am I catching on to the work? And I said yes. I mean, I was stunned. But moving on, let's talk about my next temp assignment. Now, this time around, I worked 7 weeks at a company. This company decided to let me go after I left for the day. I'm not sure what bug crawled up their butt, but they called this particular agency and made that day my last day. But I'm going to talk more deep about that particular uh, temp assignment in this episode. And that whole temp assignment is the premiere episode to the channel. If you want to go back and listen to it, I encourage you to please do. It's called This Temp Job Had Me Dazed. Now, in the second temp job, I was hired as a leasing professional. But the next thing I know, I'm doing accounts payable, I'm doing accounts receivable, I'm balancing the books. Like, when did this become my job? Because this was not told to me by the staffing agency. This is not what the job ad said at all. It's the administrative work supporting the tenants at a particular property and providing administrative work. Period. Some filing, some typing, some phone calls, not trying to balance your checkbook. Now, at this dusty office, now mind you, the corporate office was beautiful. It was in a nice town, a nice large skyscraper building with a view of the water. Meanwhile, the site office was in some broke down, low down neighborhood. The office was dusty. The staff was dusty. The ceiling leaked. Not a little drop. In the 7 weeks I was there, I would say the ceiling leaked like 3 times. The ceiling flowed like a river. It was like Niagara Falls. And at some point, I started noticing there were mouse traps on the floors, in the corners, by the baseboards. I saw these white boxes, and at first I didn't know what they were. So I asked one of the staff members, I'm like, what are these white boxes, like these metal boxes, like all over the floors? And they were like, oh, those are mouse traps. The office has mice. Like the mouse traps are lying on the floor like decorations. So then one morning I walked in at my desk and I sat down and there were mouse droppings on top of my desk. I didn't even have my hot tea yet. And I was like, what the F? But here's what's really bothering me about that position. And this is what bothers me, not only about the position, but what bothers me in general. It wasn't the mouse traps. It wasn't the leaking ceilings. I've seen mouse traps before. I've seen leaking ceilings before. But it's the way that it's the way that temps are treated. Some companies, some HR departments, some managers, some employees, they treat you like you're not even a person. You're not Tanya. You're not Susan. You're not Michael. You're the temp. Give it to the temp. Ask the temp. Oh, the temp can do it. Now, half the time, They don't even bother learning our name. Some of y'all don't even bother to learn our first, middle, or last name. Y'all don't bother to introduce us to the team. Y'all talk around us like we don't even exist. And you know why they probably don't even bother doing any of these little things? Because they're probably thinking, oh, they probably won't even be here next week anyway. They're just a temp. Now I'm going to say something else. And I really do hope a few companies are listening. HR directors, managers, bosses, supervisors. I hope you actually hear on the down low listening. I really do. Because I want to tell you something. You know why temping ain't easy? Because y'all don't make it easy. That's why temping ain't easy. Hey, you companies, you HR managers, you supervisors, you directors, I'm talking to y'all. You call us just a temp. Well, now who called the agency because your department was drowning? You did. Who came in because someone quit? Who came in because someone was on maternity leave? Who came in because y'all couldn't keep up with the workload? And who came in to help with that special project because no one else had time to do it? The temp. Now, all of a sudden, I'm just a temp, right? I'm just a temp. No, I'm the reason why your department didn't fall behind. See, this is what pisses me off. Respect shouldn't be a benefit. It shouldn't be reserved for your permanent employees. Respect should be the minimum requirement for walking through the front door of your office. Learn my damn name, introduce me to your damn team, and train me properly, please. Stop talking to me or about me like I'm invisible. And stop acting like I should be lucky that I'm here, because I'm not. Because the truth is, you needed me. You needed this temp, that temp, and the temp coming down the line. See, the assignment may be temporary, but someone's work ethic isn't. Their professionalism isn't. Their experience isn't temporary. And their dignity, sure, the hell isn't temporary as well. And I must give it to all my fellow workers out here who are working as temps, have worked as temps, and temping is what you do to survive. God speed and God bless you. Because being a temp, I would never do again. I honestly think I'd rather starve than work as a temp again. Because it was just a humiliating experience. And I just felt like so degraded. And I hated feeling that way. So today, this episode is dedicated to every temp worker who's ever been called the temp instead of by your name. This episode is dedicated to every temp worker who's learned a new system, a new office, new coworkers every few weeks, hell, every few days. To every temp worker who showed up and solved problems, this episode is dedicated to you. You kept people's businesses moving, and you still were treated with the respect you damn well earned and should have received. I see you. I've been you. And that's why I can say without any hesitation whatsoever, tipping ain't easy. Hey, you companies, HR managers, directors, do better. Put some respect on our names. We're not the temp. We're professionals. We're experienced. We're the people who show up when you need help the most. Now, this is Miss Fireball, and I'll see you the next time. Let the church say amen. Church is dismissed.